We have footage of a level 60 ninja going through Dragon 20 and Dragon 24. This is the world first footage out there that we've seen because Ninja streamed this recently. It was a lot of fun watching him this morning. We already did a video on that. Now we're going to read over the skills. We're going to look at the gear that he currently has on, and we're going to watch how hard he can hit on that A2 and A3 on a boss once we get to the dragon. Let's review really quick his skills and let's look at the gear. So this gear that we've got on him is not a savage set. This is like a bloodthirst set. It's just additional attack and crit rate. He's got 4,435 attack. We've got 250 critical damage, and he's at 213 speed. Whenever you see the damage, obviously the burn explosion damage is going to be the same, but when we see the damage going through the waves and when we see the damage, the A3 on the boss, remember, this is only at 4,400 attack, which we can do way better, and it's not with the Savage set, and it's only at 250 critical damage. So we can do much more, but what you're going to see is amazing. We all knew this champion was going to hit really hard, especially on the boss. Let's review these skills really quick. His passive will increase his attack by 100% and critical damage by 25%. It doesn't say critical damage by 25, it says 25%. Which that could be huge as well. The A1 is an arrow move. So whenever you see him shoot an arrow, that is the A1. When you see the A2 here, it's 3 sword slashes, and then this A3 is 1 sword slash. This A2 is insane. So it puts up the stacks of the poison. Depending on how many poisons are in that stack, it blows up the whole entire stack. And it does a lot of damage. Getting around stage 24 and 25, 21 to 25 of doing more than 10% of the enemy max HP isn't that difficult for some champions like Saito with ignoring defense. A lot of other champions out there, you can get past that 10% of enemy max HP because you're not doing damage based off of enemy max HP. We're doing just damage on these moves, and we're doing poison explosion, which it's a lot. It's a lot. Now, I don't know if that's capped out. It's not, because it's doing it per tick. You're going to see here in a minute. The A3 is ignoring 50% defense, but it's also lowering the cooldown of the A2 by 1 turn, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown booked out, so that's going to go down to a 2-turn cooldown. It can get really crazy on bosses. This is from my stream earlier this morning. We already did a video on that. Go check it out. We're going to see what kind of damage he can do going through the waves and on the boss on stage 20 right now. And then we're going to follow this with stage 24. And we're all going to be surprised. I'm telling you right now, this champion is well worth it. It did its A2, so we're going to have to program him to do his A3 on the waves so we can get that AoE freeze up right away. It did increase his attack right now because of his passive, and there we go. 1,000 on stage 20 waves. I'm not going to say that's crazy, but again, remember, he doesn't have the gear on right now. It's not crazy gear. It's good gear, but it's not insane. Let's skip to the boss so we can see the boss damage, and then we'll go to stage 24. Okay, here we are. He's going to do his A2 first, and then we're going to slow it down to watch the numbers fly from the burn explosion. Now remember, there's one burn up already. And I think that might have cost him a little bit of damage, but I'm not sure. Because it does end with one burn still up. I don't think it does. I think it, look, there. So we do the damage on each of those hits, which is a lot. And then we're doing the burn explosion. Look at that. And then watch this drop. And then all that drop right there. Look at those numbers. It's doing all the burns on the stack. So of course you want Master Hexer to get up even more burns, more turns of those burns, and to blow up that whole entire stack. Guys, this is going to destroy bosses. It will absolutely destroy a boss. And we don't have to worry about that 10% of enemies max HP because you see it as different numbers. Different numbers going through there, and he's not doing damage based off of enemy max HP. He's just doing normal hits, which we can do with other champions. We can go over that 10% since he's ignoring 50% of the defense on the boss on that A3. Just that one A3 with increased attack, increased critical damage will do more than 10% of the enemy's max HP. Then you bring in the cooldown of that A2 and we're blowing up all those burns. Yeah, I'm ready for this. I am ready to play test this champion. We're not many days away from this, but I am definitely excited to get him. All right, let's go to the boss on this one as well. Let's jump forward. I'm sure the waves on 24, Spirit Affinity, so we have the advantage. He just did an AoE freeze. I mean, what's not to like about this? A free champion, the only thing that's going to hold you back is getting books. Getting books to put into this legendary so that you can have a 100% chance to apply the freeze and then a 100% chance to apply the burn. And then if we can do the cooldown, if you get that cooldown on the A2 lower to a 3 turn, and then the A3 lower, where the A3 lowers the cooldown of the A2, you're just going to 2-turn cooldown then, you're going to destroy the boss. Let's see what we do here. I don't remember the damage. I didn't slow it down on this boss. So I'm hoping we see something like, just look at the whole health bar. So that's the A1 with the arrow. We're going to have to look at the whole health bar. And then by the end of his attack, after he applies it all, does the damage from the actual move in yellow, and then the explosion, the burn explosion from all of the stacks of the burn. There we go. 119, 119, 119, quite a bit. Did we have a decreased defense? I think we did. But for sure, on a 2-turn cooldown, this is going to make for faster runs for me. You know, on stage 24, I bring in Frozen Banshee. We get under a minute time. Or I bring in Armiger, something like that, and we've gotten, I think the fastest time I've gotten before is 40-something seconds. We should be able to do fast with this, right? We bring in our Seer, we drop the waves, Kymar, reset, drop the wave. We're to the boss within 10 or 11 seconds, and then we just have this champion go crazy on the boss. Now, we don't want everybody else going fast, taking up turns. We want this champion. We want our ninja going as often as possible. So I don't know if we can have everybody die, have most of them die when we get there, so ninjas can just keep going ham, or what. Whatever's going to make it the fastest. Either way, though, an amazing champion to help you get through waves, do a mass amount of damage, and then just destroy these bosses. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. He doesn't look like he's getting as many stacks or the debuffs. No, the debuffs weren't capped out. On the other dragon, it looked way stronger, right? On this one, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's happening here. I'm not sure if we're getting capped out on each of those burns at 119. It's not, because on this boss, I think it's 400, isn't it? 269, 400. I can't remember from all the different bosses. It's much higher. We're going to have to do testing, but I'm excited for this, guys. Let me know what you think about this champion. Do you think he's worth all the hype? Are you going to level him up right away? Are you excited to have somebody that can do damage on the boss? If you're not sold yet, look for my videos in the next few days. As soon as I get him, believe me, that morning we'll be playing him on stream, and then we'll have a video out the same exact time you're watching this right now. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate the love and the support. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in a video soon.